Thank you very much.
Good move.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Rimming armor for free. Rimming armor for free.
Aw, 13 points? That will do. Your turn, Ned. Aw, blast, he fell asleep again. Guess I win. Thanks, sucker.
Rimming armor for free. Rimming armor for free.
Can you trim mine?
Trade me your armor. I'll give you the gold trim.
Okay. Here you go.
Thanks, noob. Yeah, what the hell?
You're a fool, Jones.
Why, you little...
Did you hear something?
No, Grandpa, it's your move.
My head. Where the hell am I? Not again.
Therefore, on account of thievery and scamming, we hereby sentence you, Charlie, to a life of destitution.
Aw, man, now I'm always gonna be known as Charlie the Tramp.
Now, be gone. Well. I've waited a long time for this one. If it isn't the scoundrel Jones.
What's going on here? What do you want from me?
We're here to bring you to justice. You haven't exactly been a good guy, Jones.
Oh, come on. What could I have possibly done?
Well, take a look. And you tried scamming Grim here out of his full room. Not cool, man.
Seriously? Everyone does that stuff.
You killed a noob hardcore.
Oh yeah, which is hilarious. One less annoying skiller, am I right?
Jones, do you see this?
You want to play tic-tac-toe?
What? No, this is an alignment chart. Lawful good, chaotic neutral, ring a bell?
Not at all.
How have you been playing a role-playing game and never heard of... Never mind, listen closely.
Well, hello there. So you found yourself at your judgment day. No biggie. The judges come for us all. I'm here to tell you how you're going to put everything right and you can be released. So look, the game, it demands us to do terrible things. But when you hurt other people, you gotta pay the price. And every decision you can make can be put somewhere on this chart. To simplify things, we're just gonna focus on good, neutral, and evil. Now look, what happened. You know, it's last week's Bubka. But you, my good Jones, have to get a quest cape while staying good the whole time.
What? Have you done these quests? You have to murder Conrad King.
Hang on, he's getting there.
Now look. We know, you're going to have to brutally murder Conrad King. There's no way to murder somebody softly, you know. But as you get more quest points and are willing to trade in some valuable items you get along your journey, maybe you're allowed to do some more of the terrible, terrible things this game makes you do, okay?
So I have to complete every quest, and if I'm forced to do something that is considered bad, I need to pay for it in drops or making progress.
Would you stop interrupting him?
So essentially, you have to complete every quest, And if you're forced to do something that is considered bad, you need to pay for it in drops or making progress.
Okay, nice.
Now, you can make your case to do more neutral actions, but you can't just do them infinitely. You've got to make a real effort. More details will come as situations arise. So be good and kind and spread love and cheer and be merry with everybody. Now, good luck.
I think I shed a tear. But how am I supposed to be good in this game?
That is for you to figure out. Besides, we can't do any more exposition. The viewer is gonna get bored. Now, be gone. We'll be watching.
Oh, what a terrible nightmare. I'm so weak, I feel like a little noob again.
That is no accident, Jones.
You again. What happened to my stats?
Your stats are the least of your worries. Check your armor.
Fuck me, I'm a hardcore? I will run straight into a green dragon right now. Do not f with me.
I would advise against that. We've limited your use of certain plugins as well. Keep your hardcore alive, say, through a fight cave, and we might just let you use plugins again. No unprovoked violence, no stealing, secure permission before doing things, and treat others with respect and dignity. Be good now, we'll be watching.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Alright, here we are. Time to get started. I suppose the first thing we should do is go ahead and grab our hardcore armor and put that on, because of course if we didn't, how would everybody know that we're a hardcore? I also went ahead and dropped all the items off of Tutorial Island, like many other Snowflake type accounts. I just didn't think I needed that much, and with that we can go ahead and talk about our very first quest, Cook's Assistant. Most of you probably already know this, but for this quest, we have to help out the cook prepare a cake for the Duke of Lumbridge by going around and gathering some ingredients for him. The first two are relatively straightforward. We need to get a bucket of milk, a pot of flour, and an egg. The milk and the pot of flour are relatively easy to come by, but the egg, much like the chicken that came before it, offers a much more interesting question. To understand why, we've got to talk about how property works on this account. Generally speaking, if an item is inside of an NPC's property line, it is considered theirs. I can loot the item only if the NPC gives me explicit permission to do so. So while there are plenty of farmers around that have eggs, none of them actually give you permission to take them from their property. These are the 6 egg spawns I could realistically go to at this stage of the account, and none of them have farmers that actually give you permission to take their eggs. The house on Entrana offered some interesting potential, but upon checking it out, there's not even a person you can ask for permission to take the eggs. This would technically make them unattended items, which I'll talk a bit more about later, but for now, it felt wrong to just take eggs off of something that is clearly somebody's property. For now, I need money, and with the usual method of thieving banned on my account, I'll have to find some other ways to get some cash. Fortunately, Farmer Fred's got just the answer for me. Which brings us to the actual first quest we'll be completing on this account, Sheep Shearer. For most accounts, this involves buying 20 balls of wool on the Grand Exchange, giving them to the farmer, and calling it a day. But for me, we'll have to go ahead and actually shear the sheep, spin them into wool, and then give them over to the farmer. Fortunately, shears are provided for me, which means there's no input cost required to begin this quest. I'll spare most of the details on this quest. We get hired to do a job in exchange for gold, we shear the sheep, we get permission to use the spinning wheel in Lumbridge Castle, we return the balls of wool, quest completed. You could argue about the ethics of shearing sheep. I'm no expert on this. I did minimal research and found that there is evidence that sheep experience elevated stress when being sheared. However, there's more evidence arguing shearing is necessary to prevent health issues and increase the comfort of the sheep. And since Fred even mentions that he hasn't sheared his sheep in a while, we can assume the sheep actually enjoyed being sheared long term. Overall, we'll say this quest is certified 100% ethical. Alright, with my newfound wealth, I'm gonna go and make some purchases. Definitely need a pot and definitely need a bucket, and I think that's all I'm gonna get for now. After securing permission to use the mill, as well as get some wheat from the fields nearby, I was able to make the pot of flour and move on to the bucket of milk. The dairy cow to the north is unattended, thus I can't ask anybody if I can milk it, so I head east over to the cow pen near the goblins, and I'm able to secure permission there. The egg, however, remains elusive. I spoke with Seth Groats, as the cook from Lumbridge suggested that I do, but he wasn't exactly very helpful. I checked a couple more farms around Lumbridge and Falador just to see if anybody could give me permission. I was able to pet a dog and a goose, which was pretty awesome, but after doing a little more research, I came up with a pretty creative solution. Imps drop eggs at 1 in 25. That could work maybe. Oh, time to buy a sword.
Always so quick to violence, Jones.
Come on, Grim, you got a problem with me killing imps? Imps are demons, and demons are ontologically evil. Even the wiki says so.
Oh, so you would kill the demon butler? What the hell, man?
What? No, the demon butler didn't do anything.
But you just said demons are evil beings and murdering them is justified.
You know what, fine, f it, I'll kill the demon butler. And I'll kill the imps too. I gotta do imp catcher eventually anyways.
You need to think more creatively if you want to succeed at this.
Yeah, and what if I don't care to?
You've seen what we're capable of, Jones. I hope you're smart enough to take us seriously.
Time to buy a sword. With my plan decided, I got the ball rolling and started the Imp Catcher quest. Imp Catcher is an extremely easy quest. It involves helping Wizard Mizgog get his 4 magical beads back, which have been stolen by the neighboring wizard, Wizard Greyzag, who recruited an army of thousands of imps to steal various items, including the 4 magical beads. We have to get the beads back, and unfortunately, the only way to do so is by killing them. I don't plan to finish this quest on this episode, but I did want to let everybody know the plan for this one because it is definitely a little bit dubious. After very politely asking Wizard Mizgog for the quest, I went through all the options to see if I could feel better about slaughtering all of these imps, which, not really. Wizard Greyzag did call me a fool and mentioned that there are 4 imps out of thousands that do have the beads, which does technically make this a form of collective punishment, which isn't the most just thing that we could be doing, but at the same time, the game makes me kill these imps anyways for the Imp Catcher quest. Even still, I feel kind of bad killing these little guys just to get an egg from them, so I think I've decided on a form of penance that I can pay back to these imps later down the line. For each imp that I have to kill until I get the egg, I'm gonna have to give these imps some unique item later down the road. This will take a while, but I want to make sure that I give them items that are actually unique, given that imps seem to have a proclivity for gathering random junk. So it seems like the perfect thing to give these guys. It also just seems like a fair thing at this current stage of the account that I can probably get to in the next couple of episodes, I'd imagine. I bought some wine just so I could have some food to fall back on. I killed 1 random imp that I found in Lumbridge, and I got nothing, and then I made my way to the Stronghold of Security, risking my hardcore just so I could finally get some real cash on the account. The Stronghold was generally uneventful. I did almost die because I had my left click set to drop the wine instead of drink, which could have been really funny if I died that way, but fortunately, we lived and got the 10k and got out. Well, we had to get the fancy boots first, of course, mandatory. I found 1 more imp to kill and got nothing. I went ahead and bought the first 3 swords. I petted 1 more dog, made our way to the Edgeville Lever, and thankfully did not get taken out by a PKer. Made it to Artie Monastery and got to killing. And there's 3 attack. I hope I don't get too many levels on these guys, but I guess we'll just see what happens. Oh my god, yes! Let's go! That did not take long at all. That was only 6 imps in total that we had to kill. Not too shabby. So this is huge. It only took us 6 total imps to kill to get the egg that we needed. Now, I am going to have to pay it back to the imps like I mentioned a bit earlier. When I say unique items, I don't just mean random things that I can just buy from a shop and call it a day. I want to make sure that they're items that I get myself. Right now, I'm envisioning things like my clue items that I might get in the future. The first couple might be reserved for the imps just to pay back for the deeds that I've done, but something similar along those lines. But for right now, thrilled to say we have finally completed our second quest, the cook's assistant, and now we can move on to the next one. So this is the first of many quests that will have gray areas to navigate. I had to break my rule of no unprovoked violence, but it was between that or stealing from someone's property. No shop that sells eggs was accessible to me at the time as well, but I think my payback to the imps will hopefully satisfy them. So we can say this quest was mostly ethical at this stage. The Restless Ghost is one of the quests in this game that we can consider to be an easy dub for our account. There aren't really any morally questionable things that we have to do during this quest. In summary, we go to a swamp, we get a ghost speak amulet, we talk with a ghost that can't sleep properly, he tells us that we need to go get his skull from the wizard's tower, we go and get that, we return it, and ultimately we free his spirit. We're told the ghost is stuck because it has some unfinished business, the ghost doesn't intend to be haunting anyone, and was clearly a victim in the past life. So we're in the clear to complete the quest, no problem. Thus, this quest is also 100% certified ethical. Now, see, when I was a child, I would have taken the path and I would have died to a dark wizard because that's what we all would do. But I'm smart. I'm going to run around this way and I'm going to... Oh my god.
Flee from me, Jones.
I will end you.
That chicken will have to die another day, but for now, we can go ahead and start the Romeo and Juliet quest. I actually started this quest earlier before I killed the imps, because Romeo walked up on me while I was looking how to teleport there, so that's why the footage is shown a little bit out of order. If you're unfamiliar with this quest, it involves helping Romeo, yes, that one, get Juliet, yes, also that one. We skip all the Shakespearean nonsense and get straight to the good part, which involves Juliet sipping on a potion made from cadaver berries, which will poison her and make it appear that she is dead. Afterwards, Romeo is supposed to rescue her and they can live their happily ever after. So in summary, we have to poison a girl, get her to elope with a guy that her family disapproves of, and somehow do all of that with a clean bill of morality. Fortunately, we can justify the decisions that both we and the characters have to make in this quest thanks to autonomy. If you're unfamiliar, autonomy effectively refers to free will, and we assume that people have free will to make the choices that they want to make. Now, certain things can constrain free will, including things like coercion or being put under duress. Usually, coercion comes from positions of authority. In the scenario of this quest, we get told that Juliet has been grounded by her father, who is exercising control over her and limiting her ability to see her boyfriend, Romeo. This is corroborated by Father Lawrence, who agrees that Juliet's father has been overbearing and has been limiting her abilities to spend time with Romeo. We also have the benefit of saying that this wasn't technically our idea. Father Lawrence is the one who suggests that Juliet should drink the poison and that Romeo should go after her once she is declared dead. Now, of course, by the end of the quest, Romeo has a hard time living up to his end of the bargain and instead runs away with Juliet's cousin. We as the player character, though, have no idea this is going to be the outcome, and thus our role in this quest is still overall objectively good. Getting the potion is easy enough. We just grabbed some berries from outside the city limits. This makes them wild and able to be obtained by us, and we bring them back to the apothecary, who then creates the potion for us. Now here's the interesting part. When we go to Juliet, we simply say that Father Lawrence has a plan for her, not actually specifying what this is. However, when we return to Father Lawrence, he seems to indicate that he has informed Juliet about the plan and seems to give the signal that she has agreed because she's expecting us. However, when we go to give her the potion actually, it seems like we're explaining it to her for the first time as if she had no idea this was coming. We do fully inform her about the origin of the plan, what's going to happen, and how it's intended to all work, and she does agree to go through with it. Thus, because Juliet is actually fully informed on what is going on, and her father is actually exercising control over her individuality, the player is doing a good thing by helping out Romeo and Juliet. So, this quest is obviously not without controversy. Poisoning someone is generally a no-no, but Juliet is informed and not pressured and goes along with it anyways. I would argue that since the impetus for all this is to release her from her father's control, we're actually doing a good thing overall. Thus, because she gets to make her own choices, I'm gonna call this one controversial, but 100% ethical. All I know is that's 5 more quest points in my pocket. Our penultimate quest of the day is Demon Slayer. This quest is yet another easy dub for our account, so we'll go ahead and run through it quickly. The 2 easy items to get are a bucket of water and a single coin. The only real interesting item to gather in this quest is 25 bones. And fortunately, we don't even have to kill anything. We begin this quest by speaking with Eris, who reads our fortune and tells us that we are destined to defeat the evil demon Delrith. Delrith had been killed many years ago by the hero Wally with the sword Silverlight. Now that the demon is destined to return, we are supposed to find Silverlight and go and vanquish the demon once and for all. The sword was given to Wally's grandson, Sir Pryson, who locked away Silverlight and protected it behind 3 keys. Sir Pryson kept 1 key for himself, which he lost down the drain, 1 key was given to Captain Roven, and the final key was given to Wizard Treyborn. Sir Pryson's key was easy enough to get. We purchased a bucket and filled it with water from a public fountain. We poured the water down the drain and retrieved the key from the Varrock sewers. Captain Roven's key was also quite easy to get. He simply gave it to us because he didn't want Sir Pryson to be the one to kill the demon and instead would rather it be us due to his low regard that he holds Sir Pryson in. And last time I checked, being a hater isn't really immoral, so I think we're in the clear to take this key even if his intentions aren't necessarily the best. I took a quick detour and got 8 attack on the dummy, just so I wasn't going into the fight with absolutely no stats. Finally, we get to the bones. Wizard Treyborn requires us to give him 25 unnoted bones to get his part of the key. At this stage of the account, I didn't really want to go killing anything like zombies or skeletons, which would be fine to kill to get their bones, but instead, why not work smarter instead of harder? I went down to the Edgeville sewers and gathered 25 bones that spawned down there while being attacked by giant rats. And while I might have gone down to around 3 HP, I still was able to get the bones and give them to Wizard Treyborn no problem. Finally, with the keys in hand, we returned to Sir Pryson, obtained Silverlight, and prepared to fight the demon. Since I'm not using the Quest Helper plugin, I forgot that you need to actually write down the incantation because it's unique to every account, so I did have to do this fight twice, but thankfully my hardcore remained intact and the quest was completed. So this one will also fall very neatly into the 100% good category. We didn't have to violate any of our core rules, and our role is to literally save the city from a destructive demon. We'll have to take these wins where we can get them, because there aren't too many quests that'll be this straightforward in the future. Our last quest of the day will be the Shield of Erev. In summary, we're tasked with retrieving the Shield of Erev, an artifact which has been stolen from the Varrock Museum. We find out the Phoenix Gang was at the center of this operation. However, some members mutinied and split from the Phoenix Gang and later formed the Black Arm Gang. During this breakup, the Shield of Erev was split in half, and now each gang has one half. With the help of another player, we'll have to infiltrate both gangs and retrieve each half of the shield to return to the museum. We do need 20 coins for the quest, but the items aren't the difficult part here. No matter which gang we choose, we'll have to do something controversial. We'll be working with confirmed criminals, and both sides require the player to murder an NPC. We also have to steal back the shield itself, but we are doing so to return it, which makes it less of an issue. The Black Arm Gang has us kill the weapons master before stealing 2 crossbows, both actions I'd like to avoid. The Phoenix Gang has us kill Johnny the Beard, the patron at the Blue Moon Inn. But more importantly, we're also told that Johnny isn't just a random bloke day drinking at the pub. He's, allegedly, a notorious pirate captain and known mass murderer. While this is still an extrajudicial killing, and basically a hit job, it feels like the slightly better option between the two. We start the quest by speaking with Reldo, the palace librarian. He has us grab a book on the Shield of Erev and instructs us to look around and find some connections to the Phoenix Gang. We, exchange some cash for information on where to find the gang and head to their location. We talk with Straven, the head of the Phoenix Gang, who plays a little bit dumb, but basically tells us that if we kill Johnny the Beard, we will be allowed to join the gang. So, I guess it's time for some ethical murder.
You know, you're not doing great at this.
Oh, f*** off, Grim. I did the better of the two options.
Murder is still murder, and murder has a price.
And what's the price on notorious mass murderer Johnny the Beard?
For Johnny, it'll cost you your first 100K, paid in full by the end of next episode.
Do you have any idea how hard that is going to be?
Well, it was easy scamming that Tebow. All this has been just the beginning. It will get easier as you get stronger.
Ugh, I can't even get strong. Not with these stupid restrictions.
Perhaps you should read the fine print.
Hey man, are you gonna order something or?
Oh, fine. I'll take a steak sandwich to go.
Sure thing. Coming right up.
Consider the rule on unprovoked violence, and how you could use that to your advantage. Believe it or not, we are rooting for you.
Got your sandwich right here. Oh, come on, again?
Unprovoked. Well, it cost 100K to murder Johnny the Beard, but we got the intel that we needed. All that's left to do is to hand over the report and officially join the Phoenix Gang. With my part basically done, all I have to do now is find another player to complete the Black Arm side of things. I used the Shield of Erev game chat to find someone, and I happened to find another Ironman doing the quest. He was a real one. He saved my life from a mugger, so I appreciate you, Richie. I gave him the store key, let him do his thing. I retrieved my half of the shields, we swapped our tickets outside the museum, and just like that, quest complete. So this one is definitely the worst quest we've had to do so far. We can mostly excuse infiltrating the gang and stealing from them, but the murder of Johnny the Beard will weigh heavily on Good Guy Jones. It is mollified a good amount by Johnny being a known mass murderer, but we still killed a guy in cold blood in a bar. In the end, we did return stolen goods successfully, so we'll call this quest ethical, except for that one part. So, kinda ethical. If we're talking about unprovoked training, there's really only one option. Nice. That'll just about do it for today's episode. We may not have made a ton of progress in the grand scheme, but today we began our unique journey, completed 6 quests, and learned a little more about the rules and limitations this account has. Next episode, we'll have to pay off our 100K bounty for killing Johnny the Beard, gather junk for imps, and we'll continue our questing progress. I do want to quickly emphasize, this series isn't really about difficulty, but more about limit testing this game from an ethical perspective, hopefully to educate and also have some fun along the way. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Consider subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment with your own ideas or thoughts about the account. Hopefully you'll join me next time as we continue this journey of discovery. Until then, and thanks for watching.
Oh, right, the poison for Cusco, the poison chosen specially to kill Cusco, Cusco's poison. That poison?
Yes, that poison.
Got you covered.
Hands off my...